Hello, hello. Yes. So, good morning, everyone. Can you hear my voice, right? Hello, dear students. Okay. Yeah. So, just a minute. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. So, is it my voice is clear, right? All of you? Okay. Yes. So, yeah. So, today's workshop, this is today's workshop title. So, what is the workshop title is? So, Django, already, I mean, what is the prerequisite for learning or understanding this concept is? So, what I'm trying to teach you is how to integrate, how to integrate, how to integrate, how to integrate, what is it, short GPT? Okay, within, how to integrate short GPT within Django application, how to integrate short GPT within Django application. This is what I just wanted to talk about this. Okay. So how to integrate ChatGPT within Django application. Means what I want to tell you is I want to build one chatbot. What I want to build is I want to build one chatbot, and the chatbot you are building this chatbot in Django, and this communicate with what ChatGPT. Okay, and get the response. So what I want to build is a chatbot. I want to build a chatbot, and that chatbot is developed in what? Django. You are developing that chatbot in Django, and that chatbot is trying to communicate with what? ChatGPT. Means you are trying to send some queries, or you are trying to send some searching or patterns to what? ChatGPT, and the ChatGPT generates some response, and that response you are trying to use in what? Django. Okay, and send it to client. Means chatbot is used by client, and the chatbot is trying to communicate with what? ChatGPT. Then here how Django application communicate with the ChatGPT. Okay, how one application communicate with what? Another application. How one application communicate with another application. Yes, you can use directly, right? Uh, yes, API, right? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, you can use directly, yeah? Yes, you can directly use it. Huh? Okay, now some people are saying, how can I implement? How can I implement? Okay, what is the point of this? I can use directly ChatGPT, right? I can use directly ChatGPT. Why should I integrate with what? Django. I can use directly ChatGPT, right? Okay, I can use directly ChatGPT. then what is the point of doing this? Okay, what is the point of doing this? The chart GPT directly writing in what? Django, right? Okay, customization. Customization means you ask only the query which you require. Yes or no? You want to customize it. Getting on. You want to customize the things or you want to use a specific data. You want to customize the things and you want to use a specific data further in your application to perform certain operations. Okay. You want to use further to perform certain operations. Yes or no? Right? And you can also train new data. You can also what here? New data. That is what customization. Okay. So that can be done even by interacting your web application with what? ChatGPT. Okay, right? So there are a lot of things related with interacting Django with the ChatGPT. So it means ChatGPT is a model, right? It is a model. Okay, you give the training by giving some data, new data. When you give the new data, your model based on the new data, it learn and generate some new text. Okay, right? You should tell what is GPT. Okay, you should tell what is GPT. Okay, what is GPT? Now you should tell here what is GPT because you are in uh, daily life. You'll be using Chat GPT, right? You should tell what is GPT is. Huh? Anyone? Anyone? Okay. Anyone? Okay. Anyone who can tell what is GPT? Generative pre-trained transformer. Okay. What it is? Generative pre-trained transformer. That is what you mean by generative. Okay. Chart generative predefined or pre-trained transformer. Chart means what here? Chart means don't think something else. How you communicate? Okay. Conversion, right? Conversion. You are trying to instruct. You are trying to instruct that you call it as which one? Chart. Generative means what? Create a new content. Generative means what? Create a new content. Okay. Pre-trained means what? It is having some trained data. It's having a lot of data sets. Okay, it is having a lot of data sets, right? Yes, yes. No, no. ChatGPT is, see, if you're, yes, trained with the data, it's having lots of data. It is having lots of data, right? Now, see, actually, when you open this ChatGPT, right? When you open this ChatGPT, now if you see this, I'll just open ChatGPT. Okay. So what will happen? Okay. Now ChatGPT, I open ChatGPT. Okay. Now this is what you see here in the browser. Tell me what you see in the browser is what? You see something in browser, right? Anything you see in the browser is called as UI. It is a UI, user interface. The same thing you call it as what? Front end. This is a front end, right? This is a front end. Okay, this is a front end. From here, you are sending a request. You are sending a request. Okay, what you're doing? You are sending a request. Okay, you are sending a request by saying what is. Okay, I'm just writing what is Python. Okay, I just send a request. Now you are sending a request to whom? No, just tell me. You are sending a request to whom? You are sending a request to whom? Server. Okay, you are sending a request to a server or you are sending a request to a backend. Okay, backend or what is that? Server. Now, can you say this is a web or not? Tell me, this is web application. Is it this is a web application or not? Yes, this is web application. Now you develop this web. Okay, this is front end. And here you are typing the request and you are sending to whom? Server. Okay, now server it process it and generates a response. But what is that server uses? A server contain. A server uses a model, right? So what is that model is what is that model is GPT. Okay, what is that model is GPT. Okay, now this is front end. This is a front end. This is UI. This is called user interface, where you give the input. But once you give the input and press enter, this request is sent to the backend, the server, and server uses model. Okay, it uses model, and what is the name of that model is GPT. And what is the current version of GPT is 5.0, right? Hmm. Okay, what is the current version of GPT is GPT 5.0 or 5? Okay, yes, they give some massive data and trained and generate the response. Now, whenever you give some new content, it try to give the response based on the existing, right? Okay, but then what is my intention is here? Okay, what is my intention here is how this Django application can communicate with what GPT. Actually, you are saying chat GPT, but it is not chat. You are not communicating with chat GPT. You are communicating with what here? Model. What is the name of the model is? GPT. You are sending a request to this GPT. Okay. What is chat GPT here is a web application only. But that uses or that generate the response using which model? GPT. Right? That is the current version of that is 5. Okay. So but what is my intention is okay. What is my intention? No, model means in Django model is a database. In Django, what is model is database. Okay, but in AI terminology, what is model? In AI terminology, what is model? In AI terminology, what is model? Tell me here. Anyone? You'll say no, GPT is a model. Okay, GPT is a model. Okay, so GPT is a model. Gemini is a model. Okay, okay. So it is LLM, large language model. Okay, so it is LLM. Okay, yes. So what is a model? What is a model? What is model is a program. It is a program or it is algorithm. Yes. It is a program or it is algorithm. Okay. It is a program. It is a program. Suppose human, how human think by using his brain. How human think by using his brain. Right? Brain, right? Brain. Human think by using his brain. And human learn the things from past experience. Right? From past experience. Okay, in the same way, model is like a brain. Model is like a brain which is having massive data. It means your brain is trained with a lot of data. Your brain is trained with what lot of data from different sources. Means you come across so many things in your life, right? So you trained with lot of things. Okay, when new things comes, you try to use the existing patterns and try to generate the new content, right? So model is a program. What is a model is a program which implements certain algorithms. What is a model is a program which implements certain algorithms. Okay, which try to generate, which is try to generate a new content. Okay, based on the past data. Okay, right, past data. So see, there are different types of MLs. Okay, I'm not talking about what is machine learning and all the things. Okay, I just wanted to show you how you can communicate with a model. What is the model is GPT. So that whenever your application requires some data you can fetch it from that model, or whenever your application want to train, you want to train the GPT by giving some new data, then even that you can do it by using which one? Your application. That is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, right? Yes. Understood? All of you, online students. Okay. So my intention is not just giving message and getting the response. Okay, you are giving some new data. You are giving new data to which one? Model. You are giving a new data. Means by giving new data, you are training it. Okay, you are giving a new data. Okay, to what a model? Okay, you are giving some new data to the model. Now, based on the patterns, it will generate what some uh, existing. Yes, yes, yeah. Now that is no. I'm not talking about CS here. Chandan Kumar, what you are saying is different. In Django model is different. GPT model is different. Django model is different, and GPT model is different. Okay, right? So now my intention is not that, right? I just want to show you a simple application where I'm developing a front end, okay, by using HTML, and that HTML communicate with what? Server. That HTML or UI communicate with what? Server, and that server send a request to what? Model. Send a request to what? Model. Which model? GPT model, and get the response. Get the response. Who's getting the response? Backend. But how backend is getting the response? It is getting the response by communicating with what? Model. It is communicating with what here? Model. Okay, this is a model. And you train the model by using different techniques that you learn as a part of your AI, and what is that machine learning. But I'm not talking about all those things. What is a raw RAG model? What is uh, linear regressions, enforcement learning? I'm not talking about all these things. Okay, right? I'm not talking about all these things. Okay, right. So just try to understand this. Okay, the way how this application is working, right? How this is working in the same way I'm developing same. I'm developing a same application. Okay, right? So my intention is I just want to develop a chatbot. I just want to develop one chatbot. Okay, chatbot I want to develop. So that can interact with which model? GPT model. Okay, you have different models. Okay, like developed by Google, which is called a Gemini. Okay, right? You can use different. Okay. So then what is the prerequisites here? What is the prerequisites for learning or doing this is you don't require, you should have a basic knowledge of which one? Django. That is enough. Okay, basic knowledge of Django. That is enough for understanding this, how you integrate Django with what? GPT. Okay. So is it clear what we are doing? Is it clear what we are doing? All of you? Okay, what we are doing first, you should understand that. Okay, what we are doing first, you should understand this. Okay, yes. Now for this, now how one application communicate? Okay, how one application communicate with another application? Okay, how one application communicate with another application? Okay, okay. In order to have a communication between two applications, what do you require? One API. You required what? API. API means application programming interface. Application programming interface. Okay, what it define? Some set of rules and regulations. Okay, in order to have communication between two applications, that is what you learn already as a part of REST API. How you build an API by using certain rules and regulations. Now there is a rule called REST rule. Okay, representational state transfer protocol, right? HTTP protocol. So it defines some set of rules and regulations to have a communication between one application and another application. One application and another application. In the same way, how Django communicate with the GPT. Okay, then GPT, these people, OpenAI people, they provide one API. They develop one API, and by using that API, your Django application communicate with what? GPT. Your Django application communicate with what? GPT, right? So now see here how this is done. Okay. Now first step is, now up to this clear, right? All of you. Okay. Now this can be helpful to train the GPT model, right? So that you can generate some new content and you can use in your application. You can generate some new content and you can use in what? Application, right? You can use in application. Customization, I say no customization of the things, even you're doing it with the help of this, right? So first thing what you have to do is you have to create a project. Okay, anyway, first what you have to do is you have to create the project. Okay, first thing is you have to create a project. Yes, yes, Bhushan, yes. First thing is you have to create a Django project. Create a Django project. But before creating a project, so install. Okay, the following. Install the following libraries. What you have to do is you have to install these libraries. Which library you are using? OpenAI library. So that is an API. Okay, Open API library is what? An API, and that you are using to communicate with what model? So what is the API you are using? Open API, OpenAI library. You are using OpenAI library. So install the following libraries. Install the following libraries. So anyway, first, what do you have to do? You have to install pip install. What do you have to install? Django. Second thing, you have to install OpenAI. What do you have to install? OpenAI. Okay. First thing is you have to install Django, and second thing you have to install is OpenAI, right? And third one is you have to install loading the environment dynamically. You set the dynamic environment, and for loading that environment, you are trying to install one more library. And what is that library? Is Python hyphen dot environment. Okay, now this is whenever you create a project, for your project, you set the environment. For your project, you set the environment. And if you want to load that environment dynamical, what that environment consists of is, okay, that environment where you define some API key and you want to load that dynamically in your project, okay, in your application or in the view, then you'll be loading dynamically by using functions provided by Python dot environment. Okay, so this is environment variables or environment values. Now here environment values are nothing but like API key and other things, right? So these are the prerequisites. What you have to install? The following libraries. What are the libraries you are installing? Django you are installing, and you are installing what? OpenAPI, OpenAI, right? and Python dot environment. Okay. So Django for developing Django applications. OpenAI is an API that is used to communicate with what? That is used to communicate with what? Bolo here. Ah, yes, very good. That is used to communicate with what? GPT model. That is used to communicate with what? GPT, right? Second step is okay, GPT not module, promote. Okay. So second step. Anyway, you have to create the project. So Django, what do you do? It start a project. You can practice it. Okay, those who already know it. Okay, create a project. So I already created ChatGPT project, ChatGPT underscore project. And after creating a project, open this project ChatGPT underscore yes. Django admin. Yes, sorry. Django admin. You can do it with me. You try to practice. Okay, with me you can do it. With with me you just do it. Okay, CD ChatGPT project, and in this you create an application saying Python manage.py start application. What is your application is Chatbot. Okay, anything you can give here, no problem. Promote. Don't practice in chat window. Practice in your system. Promote. Don't practice in chat window yet. Okay, practice in your system. Huh? Don't type everything what I type. Practice means not that practicing. Huh? Okay. So install the library and install the OpenAI and install the Python dot environment, right? Then next is open the application directly. Open the application. You open the project in VS Code. Open the project in VS Code, right? Open the project in VS Code. Okay, open the project in what? VS Code. And after that, you have to create. First step is inside a project folder, or you can say project root folder. Okay, project root folder, create. Inside a project folder or project root folder, create a .env file. Create a .env file. Means what is this .env? Is nothing but you are setting the project environment. You are setting what your project environment. You are setting the project environment. You are setting the project environment. Okay. All of you are getting or not? Yes. All of you inside the project container folder. यहाँ पे है ना यार. Okay, this is this. Okay, this is a project container folder. This is a project container folder. This is project container folder. Inside this project container folder, this is a project container folder, right? So in this, you create .env file. File कैसे create करते हैं? You know it. Click on. What is this new file? Is it? It is a script file on. Yes, Pramod. It is a script file. So select what your new file. Select the new file. Select the new file. Okay. .env, not venv. .env. That is virtual environment. Nagabhushan. .venv is nothing but virtual environment. You are not creating any virtual environment. Okay. You are not creating any virtual environment. That is different. Okay. So here there is no virtual environment. You are just creating environment, right? Okay. Then inside this, you need to define API key, because now this in order to communicate, in order to communicate one application with another application, you required an API, right? But that API required, because that API is secured, then to provide the security, what they'll do is they provide one key. If you want to use it, you should use that key. It is just like you put a key to your house. If you want to enter into that house, you require a key. In the same way, if I want to communicate with API, if I want to use API, what I required a key. And who provide that key? Open AI people. Who will provide that key? Open AI people. Okay. So, but this Gemini and OpenAI, okay, these people will provide the key free, but OpenAI they don't provide for free. You have to pay it, right? But Gemini they provide free, okay, na. But OpenAI they also provide for free, but it is used only for one use or two use, but they don't, okay, they don't provide it more than one time. Yes, that is nothing but authorization key. Yes. Yes, Vivek. Yes. Authorization key. So to get that key, first you should be authenticated. Means you should register with what? OpenAI. So once you are authenticated, then they give the key and you can use that key in your application to communicate with the model. Understood? So you cannot use it directly. You cannot communicate directly. So you must be authorized. And when you can authorize, if you have a key. Yes. If you don't have a key, then you are not authorized person. Understood? Yes. Okay, understood or not? Okay. So you required a key. But how you get a key? You can get a key, but this is you cannot use directly. Okay, because it is not for free. So open API. So open a key, right? So account API keys. Just open this. Now already I think login. Now you can say I've generated some keys. Now here you have a what you have an option is here create a new secret key. Okay, you have an option called create a new secret key. But this is not use number of purpose. If I say create a secret key, now you can see the key is generated here. Now you can see. Now you have to see, please save your secret key in safe place. Since you cannot able to view it again. Once the key is generated, you cannot see this again. That's the reason it is asking to save your secret key in a safe place. Okay, na? Then keep it secure. As anyone with your API key can make a request on your behalf. If you do lose it, you need to generate a new one again. You have to create a new again. Now permission read and write API resources. It means you have all the permissions, reading as well as what? Writing. Understood? Then what you can do, you can copy this key. What you can do, you can copy this key and you can use in your project. You can copy this key and you can use in your project. Okay, na? Bolo yaar, yes or no? Online students. Okay. Okay. Yes, online students. Okay. Okay. So you can copy this key. Yes. So I just said here done, right? Okay, now, but if you see here, you cannot see the key again. That's the reason they'll tell you, you copy and paste it secret place. That's the reason they'll tell you, you copy and paste it secret place. Okay, right? Yes. So that whenever you required, you can just, yes, yes, yes. Yeah, this is another application. Yes. We are not talking about that. Okay. Yes. Okay, right, Pramod? Yes. Okay, now this is done. Now this key has to be used as in the environment, right? You generate only one time and that can be used in a day. Yes. Time will be in a day. In a day you can use it only for testing purpose like that. But if it is paid, you can use number of times. Okay, na? You can use number of times. Now chart GPT, Open API, they are giving from 399 or something, right? You just check it, right? Which project? Which project? Django project, huh? I already said. Okay, how to create a project. So Django admin, start a project and project is created and open this project and in that create an application. Okay, create an application. Create an application. In that create an application and then open this project in VS Code. Open this project folder in PS Code. Open this project folder in VS Code. What you do is open this project in VS Code. Okay. Yes. Open this project in VS Code. Okay, right? Mm. Now inside the project folder, create one file .env. And in this .env, you have to create one environment variable. In this, you have to create one environment variable. And what is that variable is? Open API, open underscore API underscore what? Key. Now this is a predefined variable or any variable name you can give, but this variable has to be used. This variable has to be used. You don't know Django, Lokesh? Okay. You don't know Django? You know Django or don't know Django? Yes? Yes. Beginner. But you know project, right? How to create project. These things you know it. How to create project and all the things you must know it, right? Okay. So that is a minimum to work with this. Now copy the key here. Now here this is a key. Now this is my key. You have your own key. Use that key, right? So then after that, what you need to do is, now you need to create one variable. Here you have to create variable. Any variable name you can use. But here I'm saying open AI key, API key. Any variable name you can use, don't think. Okay, because this is environment variable name. And here you type your key. Just give your key. Okay. Just give your key. Whatever key you generated. Right. No, project structure is created by command only. Project structure you don't create here. Loka. You don't create a project structure. Project structure is created by Django admin only. Okay. You need to just create application. Okay. Yes. Then fourth one is configure it. Go to settings.py, project settings. Go to settings.py. Go to settings.py. In settings.py, in settings.py, go to settings.py. In settings.py, what you have to do is you have to load this environment. You have to load this environment. You have to load this environment by adding this key here. This code should be added. Import OS from dot environment. What is this here? Okay, what is this? Dot env is module. In this module, there is a function. What is the name of the function? Load dot environment. What this function is doing, load dot environment, it will search. What it is searching for? What is load dot environment is doing? It is searching for dot env file. In dot env file, what do you have? In dot env file, what do you have? Environment variable. And what is the name of that environment variable? OpenAI, OpenAI, OpenAI API key. OpenAI API key, right? So that is the name of the environment variable. How can I load that environment variable? I can load that environment variable by using one function. What is the name of the function is? Load underscore dot environment. Okay, right. Now, which variables are available? Environment variables are available. Where you define this environment variables in? This environment variables you defined in what? Dot env file. And that variable you are using it. Okay, you are saying operating system dot get environment. And what is the name of the variable is? Open AI underscore API underscore what? Key. And that is assigned to which variable? Open AI API underscore key. So why this is? Because you don't require to hard code. Means whenever there is a change in a key, you directly do changes in what? Dot environment file. And then the next thing is you have to install the application anyway. You have to install the application. Okay, in installed apps. In installed apps, what is your application name is? Tell me, what is your application name is? Chatbot. Your application name is Chatbot. So even install the application. The name of the application is Chatbot. Okay. So here we install the application also. That's all. Now this is a thing what you have to do in settings.py. Up to this clear all of you? Online students. Is it clear up to this, right? Okay. Install the application, right? Okay. Then after this, yes. After this, next step is what you have to do? You have to create a view. You have to create a view or not? Yes, because you are sending a request to whom? View. And view should communicate with what? GPT model. Yes or no? It should communicate with the GPT model. But how it is communicating? By using open AI. Yes. Settings.py. Again, in settings.py. अरे क्या है यार, तुम्हारा नाम क्या है? आपका नाम क्या है यार? गोल्डन शाह क्या है? व्हाट इज गोल्डन शाह? नाम ही वैसा ही है क्या? इम्पोर्ट ओएस ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम रियल नेम ही है गोल्डन शाह बोल के? सही है? ऐसे बोल रही? यस रियल नेम. आई लास्ट चार्ट जीपीटी. इज इट दिस नेम इज एग्जिस्ट और नॉट? विल इट गिव अ? बोलो यार. यस. इम्पोर्ट ओएस operating system from dot environment import load dot environment is a function. Yes, it is available. So load dot environment is a function, and you call this function load dot environment function. That load the environment variable from where? It will load that environment variable from where? Dot env file, and put as a part of which one? OS. OS is having environment or not? Yes, as a part of OS. Then you are saying OS dot get environment. Yeah, but देखो यार. I think you set the environment in OS. You know that how to set the environment in OS environment. So just go to this PC. This PC is there, right? You just go to where? Properties. In the properties, you have what? Advanced settings. In advanced system settings, you find what? Environment variables. Now in this, you have an environment variable or not? Yes, like path. Like this, you can add here also. You can directly say new. What is the environment variable here? You just create one variable. What is the name of the variable is open. Any variable name you can give, right? So what is the variable name is open API key. And then you can give the value as a part of which environment? Operating system. It means are you registered user or okay. So because of that you are trying to use this as which variable? Environment variable. Which environment variable? OS environment variable, right? Understood, all of you? So instead of doing there, you are writing within the project. You are writing within the project there. Okay. So you are trying to read the key from where? Variable. What is the variable name is? Open AI underscore API underscore key. Now you are reading this value from .env. Now this value you are reading it. You are reading this value and you are assigning to one variable. And what is the name of that variable is? Open AI underscore API underscore what? Key. Okay, right? Okay. That's all. And install the application. Install the application. Install application. Then after that, you have to develop the view. What do you have to do? You have to develop the view. Now this is my view. You have to develop the view. Okay, what is the responsibility of view? Is reading a message from front end. Okay, assume that this is your chart application. Okay, assume that this is your chart application. This is a chart. Okay, this is okay. Now this is what your front end. Now here you are sending a message. Okay, you are sending a message here. Now this is a message box. What is this is here? Message box. Okay. Yeah, this view read the process and generate the response. Yes. Read process and generate. Yes. Okay, now here you type a message. This is your chatbot, right? You type a message. You type a message and then you'll say send. Okay, you'll say send. When you click on send, now this request comes to where? View. This request comes to where? View. Okay, now if the request method is a post, means you are sending a message by using which method? Post method, so that you can send huge amount of data in secured way, right? So your if the request method is not a post, if the request method is a get, see here. If the request method is not a post, if the request method is what? Get. If the request method is a get, what will happen? It will come to, yes, it will come to here, return, return what here? Render. What you are saying it is request comma, you are displaying which page you are displaying, which template you are displaying, chart.html. Chart.html. If the request method is not, if the request method is not post, what is the default response is none. If the request method is not post, for example, if you are sending a first time request, if you are sending a first time request by giving like this, okay, you'll send a request, right? HTTP, you'll send a request or not? You'll send a request by giving, okay, HTTP or HTTPS. What is that? 127.127.0.0 dot, what is that? 1, and you'll say colon 80800, and you send a request or not? Yes. Now tell me, by typing the URL within the browser is which request? Typing the URL within the browser is which request? Get request. Typing the URL in the browser is which request? Get request. Okay, typing the URL in the browser is which request? Get request, right? If the request is a get, what will happen? It should give one template or not? It should generate a template where you can, okay, it should generate a template where you can type the data, where you can type the data. So that template is generated when if the request method is what? Get. When if the request method is what? Get. Okay. But after typing the data, when you send a request, now see here, I'll write python manage dot py. So python manage dot py. I'm just writing run server. Okay, right? Then if I click on this here, this is a URL, right? I'm typing this URL. This is a URL which I'm typing it. Okay, here I type it. Okay, what I'm doing here, I'm trying to type in the browser. Okay, I'm trying to type in the browser here. Okay, so what will happen when I press enter? Tell me, this is a get request or a post request? Tell me, this is a get request or post request? Get request, right? So once you press enter, is it get request or not? Yes. If the request method is get, it will come to where? Will it execute this if block? Tell me. Will it execute this if block? Is it if block is executed or not executed? Not executed. It will come to here and give the response. What is the response it will give? Template. That is chart.html. But what is the default response? Text is none. It is generating it is generating a response by rendering what? Chart.html and sending to the client. Okay, right? Suppose here I type some text. Here I'll type some text. I type some text, and after typing the text, what will I do? I'll click on the button send. Once I click on the button send, what is the request is? Post. What is the request method is? Post. The request method is post. If the request method is post, Okay, right. So there's a technical issue. Yes. Online students, can you hear, right? Online students. So, so net is disconnected. Okay. So can you hear my voice, right? All of you? Right. Okay, right now, is it clear? So online students, is it clear, right? So now if the request method is a get, if the request method is a get, it is generating one template. Okay, it is generating one template. Now here, the template what I created is, now inside the templates folder in application folder, inside the application folder, there is a folder called what? Templates. You know the structure, right? So in this templates, there is a template. But wherever you want, you can add it. Okay. Okay. Wherever you want, you can add it. Right? So templates, now create one template here. Okay. I stopped here, right? If the request method is a post, means after typing the message, see here, after typing the message, you type the message here. You ask, you want to give, you want to train the model by giving some message. I'm just writing here, what is Python? So I send a request. I click on send, right? So once I click on send, the request come to here. Which view? Chart view. And this view identifies is it request method is a get or post. If the request method is a post, what will happen? It will read the message. Okay, what is the name of this field here? Message. You can see the source here or template. What is the name of this is? Okay, there's a name. What is the name of this is? This is text area. And what is the name of this is? Message. The name of this is what here? Message. Message is a name. Okay. And then after that, you are reading the key. Open a, you are trying to read the key. What is the key you are reading? Open AI API key. You are reading it. From where you are reading it? From settings.py, right? What is the settings is a module. And in this module, so you have an environment variable, right? So what is the name of the variable is? What is the name of the variable? Open AI API key. This value you are reading it. This value you are reading it because if you want to communicate with that model, compulsory you require a key. Then after that, you need to create a request. You have to create a request. You have to create a request. Okay. You have to create a request. And how you are creating a request? You have to send this request to the model, right? Which model are you sending the request is? You are sending the request to the model. And what is the name of this model is? GPT-5. That is the current version, right? Okay, you are sending the request to the model. What is the model is? GPT-5. Now, what is the name of the module is? Open AI. What is the name of the module is? Open AI. And you are communicating with the model. What is the model you are communicating with? GPT-5. Okay, now you are creating a request. How you are creating a request? By using one module. What is the name of the module is? OpenAI dot. What is the name of this is? Chart completion is a class. Dot. What is the name of the method is? Create. What is OpenAI is here? Module. What is chart completion is a class. What is the name of the method is? Create. It is a class method. And class method or static method is bind with what name? Class name. And here you are trying to send some values. Okay, model version. Communicate, just give the model version. And then message. Yeah, you are trying to send a dictionary list contain dictionary contain role. Now role is user because You are authenticated as a normal user, right? You are authenticated as normal user. Now, what is the role is given here? User. You are not an admin. You are a normal user. And content. What is the content you are sending here? User. Response. That model will process the request and generate the response. And that response is assigned to one variable. This variable name can be anything, right? Completion. And this completion, now this is HTTP response, and this response is having some structure. This response is having some structure. It contains a lot of data, but you content what response it is generated. Okay, now completion is one list. Actually, completion is one list, and that list contain a dictionary, and dictionary contain again list. So completion dot choice of 0. Okay, the response content. This is one dictionary, and this is one dictionary. Dictionary you are reading what response content. From dictionary you are reading what response content. This is object. Completion is object. Which object? HTTP response object. Completion is an object. That is which object? HTTP response object. And within that you are saying completion dot choices and 0. 0 is what here? Okay, choice is a list, and from that you are reading 0 is the index, and dot message. I say no, this is a list. It completion contain the list of content, that is contains some dictionaries as well as list, but you are reading it. 0 message of content, that will read the content. See, so what is the meaning of this is, sorry, online students, online students, can you hear? Online students, can you hear, right? See here, response called completion dot choice of 0 message. Yes, because text, I mean net is slow. Okay. See here, completion. This represent the entire response object. I said no. This completion is what response object. Which response object? This completion is which object? Response object. You are sending a request to whom? Model. Which model? Or you are sending a response to which model? GPT-5. You are sending a request to which model? GPT-5. Okay, what is the request you are sending? Message. And that model will generate a response. That model will generate a response. And what is the name of that variable? Or what is the name of that variable? Completion. What is the name of that variable? Completion. Now, completion is which type of object? Online students, completion is which type of object? Completion is which type of object? Completion is which type of object? Response object. Very good. Completion is which type of object? Response object. And this response object is having a list. And what is the name of that list? This response object is having a list. What is the object it is having? Choices. What is the object it is having? Choices. This is a list within the completion object, which is response object. LLM APIs can sometimes return multiple alternate completion for a given prompt. And each of these alternatives is an element in the choice list. So here 0 indicates that 0 index selects the first choice from choices list. In most common use cases, developers are interested in primary but not or highest ranked completion, which is usually index is what? 0. And message is nothing but within each choice there is a message object. And for chart based models, the message object typically contains information about the role, that is assistant as well as what? User. But it is also having, see here, this is message and content. This acts as a specific key within the message object, that is hold actually generated text by whom? Model. Okay, right. So you are saying message. E, there is a message object, there is a message object, there is a message object, and from that message object, you are reading the content. You are reading what here? Content. Okay. So that is nothing but response text. And this response text you are rendering into what? Chart.html. You are rendering that into what? Chart.html. You are rendering into chart.html. Okay, right? So just try to understand completion is the HTTP response object which contain multiple responses. Okay, within that always you take the first one by using 0 and dot. The choice is having a object called message and the content is reading the response generated by what? Model. That's it. And this model response content you are rendering into what? Chart.html. That's all. Very simple. So what is this now? What is this statement? Sending a request to whom? Or sending a request to whom? This statement indicates sending a request to whom? Online students. This statement indicates sending a request to whom? GPT model. Sending a request to whom? GPT. And that will generate a response. And what is the name of the response object is? Completion. Right? Yes, model. Yes. Okay. Let us try with this. And this is a template. Here I created a template. Now this is a template where chart.html. Okay, this is a template and this is a form and you are saying name is a message and anyway you have to add CSRF token and message and there is a placeholder ask anything. This is text area where you can type multiple messages so that you can train. If the response is none, nothing is displayed. If the response contain any, then it will show the content. Okay, right? So this is template is a simple template. Okay, right? Now send a request. Send a request here. Here you ask the things. Okay, here I'm saying what is. So I just send a message to GPT. But will it send directly to the GPT? Come on here. Will it send directly to the GPT? Tell me. Will it send directly to the GPT or backend? Bolo here. Will it, this request is sent directly to the GPT? No, backend. What is the backend? Tell me, what is the backend? Bolo yaar, what is the backend? Arey, what is the backend? Django, very good. What is the backend? Django. What is the backend is? Django is the backend here. Uh, Django is the backend. Who's receiving the request? Django. Who's receiving the request? Django, right? Django is receiving the request. Okay. Then what Django is doing? Tell me what Django is doing. What Django is doing? Sending the request to what? GPT. Very good, Vivek. Yes. Connecting to the GPT, sending the request to the GPT by using Open AI API or not? By using Open AI API or not? Yes, it is sending to the GPT model. And that model is generating the output or not? Yes. And that output is given to what? Django. And Django is rendering into what? Template and giving to the client. And giving to what? Client. Okay. So yes, yes. Then it will process. Then it will process and generate the output. Who is generating the output now? Actually, output is given by whom? Django. But Django is communicating with what? Model. That is how one application communicate. Now send a request. Okay. Oh. Mm, it is expired. Okay. Anyway, no problem. Now your account. Sorry. Now it's saying that your account is not active. Please check your billing details on your website. Yes. This is regarding key only. The problem is with key only. This is regarding key only. So there is a problem with the key. I mean, something happened with that key only, but this is a process. But this is what here? Process. It is giving runtime error here. So your account is not active. Please check your billing details on your website. We have to give usernames and yeah, but you have to log in. You check with your key. No problem. You got a concept, right? Very good. Hmm. Use one of our keys. Give your key, Jayant. But is it working? Jayant, you are working? Jayant. Yes, sir. Okay. Just give. Just wanted to see the HTML output. That's it. Yes. You paste in short window personally. Is it paid? Yes. Just only output. That's it. Everything will be the fine. Okay. Understood? Yes. Everyone understood what I did. Understood or not? No. Then you can even do with other models. Okay. You can do with other models. API key is expired. Okay. Yeah. This code I'll share in my Telegram. I'll share this code in my Telegram just to see in my Telegram. So I'll share this code in my Telegram. Okay. No migrations. No migrations here. We are not using any models. Okay. Yeah, you can use any models. Yes. Gemini you can use. Yes. Yes. Any model you can. What you required is only a key. Okay. So I'll be sending a notes in Telegram. So this is my Telegram idea. I'll be sending the notes in my Telegram. Okay. Understood? Anything you want explanation? Any explanation is required in this? Because it's not a very big one. It's a small one, but you can customize it. Customized bot you can display. You can create it. Okay. Yes. I'll be sending the notes in Telegram. Okay. And this is already there in. I mean, you can also see in the YouTube. You can find in the YouTube also. Right. Okay, I think you understood. All of you understood. It's a simple one. Okay, but most of the students, I just wanted to give some knowledge, like how this communication is done. Okay, right? Understood? Right. So then next is, yeah, what we'll do is in the next workshop, we'll try to develop a customized chatbot. Yes, right. Thank you. We'll have a customized one, right? Yes, customized one will develop. When develop one app, we'll develop one app, and so that you'll be knowing it how this uh, GPT model can be used in web application development. Okay, how this GPT can be used in web application development, right? So in the next workshop, I'll take another topic. Okay, and we'll see it. Yeah, I'll share in Google Classroom if possible. Okay. Yeah, I'll share the projects. I'll share it. Shake. I'll share the projects. Okay. I'll share the project. Okay. Anything you want to ask online students? Anything you want to ask online students? Right? That's all. In the next workshop, we'll see some more. Okay. Some more new things related with the, yes, not demo class. This is workshop, not demo. It's a workshop where I try to share new things related with Django, right? Okay. Khalid, waiting for e-commerce project code. Yeah, I'll upload. Yes. Okay, right. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much for attending this. Now this is available in YouTube channel. NareshIT channel is there. No, you can watch there. You can practice there, from there. Okay. Okay, right. Thank you. Right. We'll see in the next workshop. We'll see in the next workshop. Yeah, I'll post it. I'll post the project. Yeah, they'll start. They'll start. Okay. I'll post it. Jayant, I'll post it. Okay. I'll post Jayant. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you. Start होगा यार. Start होगा तो मैं बोलूँगा. I mean, just see in my Telegram. Okay, right? Yeah, we'll have a capstone project. We'll have a capstone project. Okay, on this. Okay, right. Right. All of you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, right. Thank you. We'll see in the next workshop. Bye.